me know.
Yeah, so those are some of the problems that I see, that's causing a lot of problems in the relationship, why it's causing so a lot of breaks up. That is what I see mostly as main issues. Of course, the other thing like cheating and all that, but I'm not gonna go into that today, because mainly my passion is about just empowering each other, encouraging each other as women, to do better with ourselves, So that's what I want to base more on that, because I'm not a man hater or anything, but I just want to encourage us as women just to always think about your life, always, no matter what situation you're in, develop yourself, don't let yourself, go down and down and down until you can't even think for yourself, until you lose your self-esteem. Just always try to push yourself, to develop yourself, get inspired by other women. It helps a lot, to always get inspiration from other people. You have to believe in yourself, as well, because obviously everything comes from within. You have to love yourself. Everything comes from within first before you even get inspired. You have to love yourself and be hopeful, about your future. Another topic I wrote down that I wanted to talk about, obviously, is I touched on that. What are we teaching our kids, especially the girl child? What example are we giving them with our lives? So that's another thing that I see, that we're sort of like, we have a responsibility to lead by example to our kids. So what kind of lives are we living? Are we being good examples to our kids, especially in this country? Because obviously we have a culture where we're raised a certain way, and then we move to this country. We're raising our kids, most of them are British. Of course, some of the kids were born in Zimbabwe, came when they were young. So, but those who are born here already, the way they are, the way they think is different from us. So, how do we know we're raising our kids the right way, and are we leading a good example to our kids? For me, I believe it doesn't really matter where you're coming from, but as a mother, you can do your best, just to raise your girl child the best way you can, and know that they're watching you, what you're doing. Tomorrow, all those things, they can copy you, and then if you're doing wrong things, they will then challenge you tomorrow and say, oh, because you're doing it, so I thought it was all right because you did it as well. So now, obviously, you have a responsibility. Once you have kids, you have a responsibility to sort of show them the right way, because they adore us, they think what we do is the best. So if someone later on in life comes and tells them that, what are you doing? They can't listen to anyone, because as long as their mother was doing it or their father was doing it, they'll believe in that. No one else can tell me what to do, because if my parents did that. So remember, women, no matter what situation you are in, whether happy, bad situation, always put your kids first, because then they have no choice. Because if once you destroy their life, sometimes it's hard to fix it. So that's another thing where I always encourage women, that if you're in a bad situation, find a way to get yourself out of that situation, because it can disrupt your kid's life. It can sort of like affect your kid's life forever, especially if it involves domestic violence. That one is the worst. You cannot tolerate that as a woman. So just encourage women to seek help, and know that you're not alone. There's so much support available. We're blessed to be here, because obviously there's a lot of support available. Don't sit in domestic violence and keep thinking, oh, it will get better, or be so attached. That's another thing. We're so attached sometimes to men or to our relationships, so that you don't see any other way. But me, I always tell myself, the strength that I got when I left my own situation, although it was non-violent, I just told myself that I was born alone. I was not born married. This person we met and fell in love, and we had our life, but it doesn't mean I'm stuck to him. If things are not working out, I have to do the right thing. If it's not for me, but for my kids, because I don't want to ruin my kids' life, for them to see me fighting, arguing every day, Okay, some people, they say an excuse and say, oh, it's best for the children's health to be together as parents, live together, as the parents of the kids. It gives them a better life to raise them together. But no. Kids can only function well or can learn a lot if you raising them the right way without arguing in front of them, fighting, not domestic violence. Yes, that's a good one. If the relationship is good, yes, that's the best one. But if the relationship is not good, then you cause your kids to think that domestic violence or arguing is the best. That's how relationships are. You're affecting your children because you're growing bad relationships in them. Once they are kids, they will grow up and just think, oh, it's okay, it's normal. No, women, we're the only ones, we can change this situation. Don't take a bad relationship and say, oh, it's okay to get better. As long as it affects your kids, if you know that your kids are being affected, because our kids always tell us, sometimes they get angry when parents are arguing, they go upstairs and they're angry, why are you, mom and dad are always fighting? Sometimes kids, they are taught even to cover up that you're not supposed to tell family or any grandmother or anyone that mom and dad are fighting, or if the dad gives mom a black eye, don't tell anyone. Some kids, they have been taught that, which is not good, because you're damaging that kid's life. Your own is already damaged, but you cannot change it because you're already in that situation. But what you can do is think about your future and say, what can I do to change the situation, move myself from this, because it's done, I'm already in it. You've made your mistake, you didn't know that maybe this person is going to get violent, or you thought things were good, or thought things would get better, but you can do something about it. Get out of the situation, think about your kids, if not for yourself, because these kids, they get affected, So if those kids, if kids see violence or bad relationship, most boys, they end up being the same when they grow up. They're gonna be beating up women because that's what they know. Women will think, just having a bad relationship, tolerate all the bad men out there, men treat them anyhow, they'll just take it. They don't care even if a man is rough to them, treat them bad, treat them so bad, they will just take it because they think mommy took that relationship, mommy just sat with that man, even though the man was bad, our mom kept going on, for the sake of being with the man. No. Be in a relationship as long as you are happy with that person and you are agreeing on your goals, your life. Of course, I'm not saying there are not going to be arguments. There's healthy arguments, of course, because even with your own siblings, you can have disagreements. So it's the same with a partner or a husband. You can disagree, but there's healthy arguing and one which sort of like damages, So always, for our kids to have a normal life, you always have to avoid arguing in front of them or putting each other down in front of those kids. We have to protect our kids, women. We have that power, so no matter what situation you're in, do it for your children, put them first, especially if you're in a bad relationship. Think about your children, think about what you are showing them, So even if it's those women who sort of like have kids before and they're trying to move on with their life, so we should be careful how we do things, when we're dating, starting a new relationship. So we have to be careful in everything that we do. Always, let's protect our kids and put them first and think about what they are seeing. Is it healthy for them, what they're seeing? What example are we leading? There's nothing wrong in moving on or marrying another person or being in a new relationship, as long as you are guiding them the right way. You are showing them that you left a bad relationship, so it's part of life. If something is bad, you leave it and move on to a good thing. So it's healthy for them because you are showing them that anything bad is just to be left. You can't keep on sitting in a bad situation, so that even when they are treated bad by men, or in the future your girl children, they will know, no, I'm not going to tolerate this. My mom said, no, this behavior is not good. A man can't beat me up and say sorry by buying me flowers, buy me chocolate, buy me a new car. No, it's not right. So we don't teach our children to value material things more than their lives, because let's teach our children to buy themselves their own thing, their own car, so that they don't get it from men and be treated bad just because, the man's got money, he can treat me anyhow because he gives him money, or put our children under pressure to stay with rich bad men because of the money. So women, come on, let's just think about our children's life, and just always, if you've got sisters going through that, or if you feel like, we need to find a way, to advise them, because I know that sometimes most people in that situation, they don't like any advice. They sort of isolate themselves. If they notice that you want to try to intervene in their life, they start to distance themselves. They don't want that kind of intervention in their life. So we have to be careful how we do things. Just think about those kids, protect our kids' life, because ours, we can mess them up because it's our choice, but when you've got kids, so now you've got a responsibility, because you've created life, you've brought life into the world, so now you have a responsibility to lead that life the right way and give them a fair chance in the world. I'm gonna go to the next point. How is our relationships with other fellow women? Like, what kind of a person are you around the women that you are close to you, or that